everybody out there in the land of YouTube. This is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the one and only Psychic News Network. Welcome. How are you guys doing? Let me just fix something here. I don't know if this makes a difference, but I do have a mic. I don't think it makes any difference at all, actually. Today is Wednesday, December 13th. Right off a new moon in Sagittarius yesterday. Welcome. Let me know how you're doing. How your hump day went or is going thus far. A little overwhelmed with news. There's a whole lot of it. Democracy Elf has a friend. I just want you guys to know. Democracy Elf found a friend. Recruited a friend. I spent a good amount of time today mailing out Grassroots of Democracy tote bags. I don't think I have one in front of me, but when you join Grassroots of Democracy, you get a tote bag. And on Friday, I'll show you what they look like. We are the power. Joe and I sent out a whole lot of tote bags today. And fortunately, thank you any and all of you who have sent me donations. It definitely helped with the postage. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com is where you go. I'm going to start pushing it really a lot on my channel. In the face of what we're seeing, the Republicans, they're just pulling out all the stops. They're just trying everything imaginable to get Joe Biden to seem like a bad person. How's that going? Well, in Russia it would work. In America it's not going to work. They're making absolute you-know-whats out of themselves. So we're going to take a look. I have my tea. I have these cards. I have a Christmas Carol. More about that later. And pendulum. And how's your holiday season going? Pretty good? I don't do any shopping. I'm not into that, but I know a lot of people do. And speaking of shopping, just as a reminder, the economy in America is so good. I understand not everybody feels that way, but you know, the overall picture, when you look at the big picture, do you remember Black Friday was the highest amount that Americans spent in history? What they're doing, what the Republicans are doing is so ridiculous. Yes, that's true. That is true. I do have a few announcements tonight about upcoming events, so I may segue into a commercial sooner than I usually do. The stock market was way up today. The economy is doing great. We're going to pull 3 cards from the Psychic Tarot, the John Holland deck, and we're going to pull 3 cards about how this impeachment inquiry is going to do. Antonio's disappointed that the GOP is wasting our tax dollars. Yeah, and beyond disappointed, furious. And this is going to go on for a while, I think. Let's notice, yeah, every one of the Republicans voted yes for impeachment. It's not for impeachment, it's for an impeachment inquiry. Let's just make sure that we have it straight. For an impeachment inquiry. Let's ask the pendulum how long these shenanigans are going to go on. I do get a strong sense that Biden is not surprised in the least. I mean, honestly, Libby's getting roasted by the candle. Oh, stop it, you scared me. That's my Yule candle. I found it on Etsy, let me show you. This is to remind you that we're having a Yule celebration, and on December 17th. I'll tell you about that again in a little bit. I think it's okay. There's like oranges in the candle and everything, so I do have to kind of keep an eye on it. Let me know if you see a forest fire happening. And we just lost Elliot the elf. Elliot has a friend, and I don't know what to call her. Isn't this the cutest thing in the whole wide world? Handmade from somewhere in Europe. I found it on Etsy. Look, she's got little ears. I was showing Terry this today. Little braids. She has a little candy cane and dangly feet and a bell. So this is to let you know that Elliot Democracy Elf is recruiting other elves. Galadriel elf? Ooh, that's kind of hard to say. We'll put them up here for now. Elliot's recruiting democracy helpers. Let's see how long this is going to go on. Let's see how long they're going to keep up the clown show. I just had a pendulum. Where did it go? Let's see how long they're going to keep up these shenanigans. We'll use this one. How long are they going to keep up their shenanigans? Judy the elf. I kind of like that. She looks like a Judy. I wish I could draw them closer so you could see them. Will this ridiculousness last 1 month? 2 months? About 2 months of ridiculousness. Does that include the rest of December? Including the rest of December? No. So it's the second month of the year this ridiculousness is going to end. Is that because the Democrats will be able to take over the House because people will be dropping out of the Republican Party? Kind of getting a sort of, like, kind of. Warren, you got right for the jugular. I'm telling you, I'm not going there. This is copper. So, will it be in the second month of the year this ridiculousness is going to stop? That's why I was asking if it's going to be, does it include the rest of the month, because I know they're going on break. They do every year. I'm going to pull 3 cards about this impeachment inquiry from the perspective of how that's going to go for the Republicans. The hypocrisy is sky high. They don't deserve a break. They don't deserve a break. They sure get a lot of breaks. I know, so I said, does that include the rest of December, when the pendulum was giving me 2 months? And it said yes. This is how it's going for how the impeachment inquiry is going for the fascist Putin Republicans. They're really at a crossroads. They're looking at these different doorways about how this is going to turn out for them, the Putin Republicans. Joe Biden is president. Joe Biden is president. Joe Biden is president. Not only is Joe Biden president, but Joe Biden is not a criminal and has not committed any crimes. And I don't feel like the Supreme Court will ban the abortion pill. We'll get to that. Gloria sends white light daily to President Biden. I say decades of the rosary for our country every day. We pray for our country at Grassroots of Democracies, the Tuesday night meeting. We pray for our democracy every single Sunday at Church of Spirituality. If you want to get a prayer for a healed America, you can go to churchofspirituality.online, and there's the church program, and the prayer is right there. Dale feels like they're trying to trip over themselves, the fascist Republicans. We do need to pray continually. The hypocrisy is sky high. The hypocrisy of the fascist Republicans is to the freaking moon. It's unbelievable. And Hunter is calling it, he's telling it like it is. The Republicans are standing at, they have a number of choices here. The guides are saying Orban. The guides are saying they're listening to Viktor Orban. They're thinking that Orban's plan is going to work. So apparently they have a playbook from Orban of a step-by-step in cahoots with Putin. So what, and I feel like Jack Smith is onto this, what the Republicans are doing is they've been given the playbook. Donald Trump, when he was in the White House, he didn't want the pandemic playbook, but he does want the Orban and the Putin playbook. The fascist Republicans are following a playbook. That's exactly what they're doing. I see it. It's like they're checking the instructions. Yeah, they're checking the instructions. They're like, I almost see it like it's a book. Is that literal? Because the guide's speaking symbols. Is that literal? Do they literally have like notes? No, I don't think they literally have notes. I think that's because they could easily be tracked. Darren, you have a special place in my heart today. I just came back from the post office. You're the best. Totally appreciate it. And all of you. Is it written down? Is what the fascist Republicans doing, is it? It's not written down. They are. Electrostorm was saying, why not go back in time and follow Hitler's playbook? Did you miss the part that that's what Trump loves to do, is read Mein Kampf and read transcripts of Adolf Hitler's speeches? Did you miss that part? Because they are playing by the Hitler playbook. The crown chakra. The higher vibration of Joe Biden, the Biden family, is kind of putting the fascist Republicans in a conundrum. They have all these doors to walk through and they're not really sure which they should walk through. So they're kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something sticks, as Trump throws ketchup at the wall and doesn't care. So, are there 200? It's over 2. I didn't even notice. That was quick. We're going to do a group hug because we do that when we get to 200 people. You're talking about the Republican Party following Orban? Orban. So Electrostorm, it's all connected. So in my mind, it's all the same. The Viktor Orban playbook and Putin's playbook and Hitler's playbook, how are they different? I don't see how they're different, right? It's tragic. It's horrible. But this is the crown chakra, the higher vibration, and Joe Biden is president. And Joe Biden is president, and he has the power. Let's not forget that. He has the power. Ready for a group hug? We can't do a group hug if it drops below 200. Wait a sec. All right, it looks like we're safe. Hit the thumbs up. Yeah, Darren, you're awesome. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Group hug. Put your energy out there. Yay, yay. Group hug. We are awesome. We're in this together. Together we can. Together with group hugs, we can do anything. All right. Little energy boost there. This afternoon was kind of a lot to do this afternoon, a lot going on. And I squeezed in a quick mini show. I can't wait to see Jamie Raskin's what he said today. Got a lot of catching up to do. Just from not being glued to the news or checking the news every hour this afternoon, I missed a lot. So here we are. It's crazy. We are the power. Together we can. Together we can, together we will. And I want to share with you an experience that I had that I think I shared the other night. Yes, I did. But I just want you to know that the people that are not aware of what's going on need to be educated. Seriously, seriously. Because I mentioned I had dinner with a friend who had no idea what was going on in America. No idea. They catch headlines and they catch what's in the background if they're at a bar and the news is on or something, which I don't know if they have the news on in the bar. But they just catch what they catch just kind of drifting by them. So what people that aren't paying attention hear, let's just be real. People that aren't paying attention, what they hear is Hunter Biden is a criminal. Hunter Biden didn't defy his subpoena. Hunter Biden did this. Hunter Biden did that. Well, we did a short, Kathy and I did a short astrology report today because I wanted to check in and find out what was going on. Paul Ryan called Trump an authoritarian narcissist. Well, that's good. Just know that people that aren't paying attention, they don't have to, I'm not talking necessarily about Trumpsters. People that aren't paying attention, what they're hearing is Hunter Biden committed crimes. Hunter Biden's being subpoenaed. Hunter Biden is going to be on trial. There's a hearing about Hunter Biden's crimes. And then people that aren't paying attention, they hear they're doing an impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. They're doing an impeachment. Joe Biden. Money from China. So people that aren't paying attention, they hear these little snippets, and then they form opinions based on those little snippets out of context and out of reality, which is that the Putin Republicans are the biggest hypocrites you'll ever know about. Yeah, Jordan was asked by a reporter why he ignored the January 6 hearings when asked. Yeah, he ignored his subpoenas. None of them abided by the law. None of these fascists abided by the law. They defied the law. They declared they were above the law. It's worse than Benghazi all over again. And yet they're making all this news splash about Hunter Biden, who paid his taxes and who rehabilitated himself and who purchased a gun under the influence and answered a question wrong, and his girlfriend threw the gun away. I know. It boggles the brain. Main media did breaking news about the impeachment inquiry. It's an inquiry. Can we just make sure we get that straight? It's not an impeachment, it's an impeachment inquiry. There's a big difference. Yeah, so what's the tactic is, like, they know that. They know what they're doing is they're going for the people that will only hear the bold headline and not look into it any further. Because let's face it, not enough people are curious like us. And Diane sent an email to Jason Smith about women's rights. Good. Okay, so we're going to take a look at how this is going to go for Jim Jordan. I'm just seeing what the fallout is. So in our short show today that I called with Kathy Beal, because there was so much going on, so much energy in the air right now, I just wanted to check in and see what was going on astrologically. Angela's saying Jordan looks awful. Is he ill? We'll look at that. We'll look at that next. So check that out. It's just a 20-minute show under the lives. Gives you some guidance about what's going on with the stars. And then Kathy and I have our show next Tuesday about the full moon coming up the following week. And my show with Catherine Glass, I apologize for those of you who tuned in. We had massive technological issues. I can only do YouTube with another person from my phone, and my phone was broken, and it was a big fat mess, and I was just, ripping my hair out at that point. We're doing the show on Friday. Myself and Catherine Glass, another psychic in Massachusetts who's been working around 30 years like myself, doing readings. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, Jimmy Jim Jordan. Let's do a reading on Jimmy Jim Jordan. Let's see what's happening for him. George Clooney just popped into my mind. Let me ask this. That movie about Jim Jordan, is that movie about Jim Jordan going to come out? Remember there was a movie. Is that movie going to come out? It's pending. I think, yeah, the movie with Jim Jordan, it's not giving me a straight answer as to whether it's coming out. Let's see. The higher wisdom prevails. The United States triumphs over Jim Jordan. He's weak. He's weak, weak, weak. He's weak. And the base chakra, he's getting rattled to his core. Jim Jordan's getting rattled to his core. You know how he gets? You know, we've heard reports that when he was in trouble at the university, when he was in trouble for hiding sex crimes, horrible, horrible, horrible sex crimes, and he was covering up, much like the Catholic Church did for all those years. He was so scared then. It's been reported that he was calling one of the students or something and just begging and begging and begging for them to not talk about what they knew. So, it's a little nuts. The higher wisdom will prevail over Jim Jordan, because this certainly doesn't say anything about Jim Jordan's wisdom, because he's got no wisdom. Jim Jordan is so rattled he's wearing a coat. Is he? Is that true? He's rattled to his core. And then I have the suffering and silence card just flipped over. He looks jaundiced. Well, let's ask this. Oh, Jordan should be scared like crazy because they got this phone records. Yeah, that's true. I think this whole thing has just begun. Because I really do see subpoenas at the start of the year. Is Jim Jordan ill? Is Jim Jordan physically ill? Is he physically ill? Does he have something? I think it's stress. Does he have jaundice? Does Jim Jordan have jaundice? We're not quite hitting it. Thank you for the donation. Oh, then it just gave me a straight answer. Is it jaundice? Does he have jaundice? I'm getting yes on that. Interesting. Let's do this. Let's take a look at the Aquarian Tarot. I've got all these cards all over my table. Sometimes I can't decide. Let's take a look at Jim Comer. Is Jim Jordan a drinker? I don't know. I have no idea. Hello, friends, to you too. I don't know if he drinks. Trump doesn't drink. Does he have cancer? Does Jim Jordan have? Whoa. For entertainment purposes only, that looks kind of like yes. Sandy, I haven't gotten that far yet. It looks like Jim Jordan is pretty ill. And I'm asking about cancer. They have all those orgies they drink. Joanna's saying. They're a mess. I mean, they're a big fat mess. I mean, let's just look at them all and put them in a lineup in your head, right? And by the way, please, if you're even just signed up for Grassroots of Democracy and you don't come to the meetings, but you're signed up, you are receiving a guided meditation for a healed America that's about around 20 minutes long. We do it every single week and you receive it in your inbox. So check. Because you can do a guided meditation for a healed America, and this is it can change everything. Jim Comer. What a piece of work. Oh my gosh. He's just like, how can I describe James Comer? I've already described James Comer as the class dunce, that he should have a dunce cap on. Just has no conscience. Has no conscience. None. It's pretty unanimous. People are saying Jim Jordan looks really gray and awful. I'm picking up cancer. The GOP are decaying. You mean decaying before our eyes? This is about James Comer. Man, the sword of truth is coming for them. And they're kind of doing it to themselves. They're actually accelerating. They're actually accelerating the truth coming out about themselves. Comer wants to go directly to impeachment now. How do you do that? Mr. Warren Lawyer? How do you do that? Oh, they have no regard for protocol and the laws. James Comer, the sword of truth is coming for James Comer. And I mean, just as simple as, I mean, I think he's under a huge trouble anyway, James Comer, but I mean, I don't understand how he thinks that he's fooling anyone. Because these impeachment inquiries, and now that I think about it, I did say in the past that this is actually going to work way worse for them. It's going to result in things, they're making it worse for themselves. Okay, so Thomas is saying, well, we know they're only doing an impeachment inquiry, so let's stop calling it. I notice people in the chat are saying, are they going to vote to impeach him? This is an inquiry. And Thomas is saying they're only doing an inquiry yet. Now, if it won't get to an impeachment without evidence in high crimes, because this isn't Russia. Yeah. Deb is saying, hi everyone, today was a crazy news day. I know, if you're just joining us, I was saying I was busy this afternoon and I missed so much. In one afternoon. James Comer. The sword of truth, it's getting more, he's just putting a magnifying glass on himself. And he's making it look like the contrast between truth and what he's doing is vast. It's a vast contrast. The Knight of Swords, that represents that kind of represents this guy. Compliments of Warren. I love this mug. This is the greatest. James Comer. He should have shut his big fat mouth. Would have been better for him. It really would have been better for him. This is Jack Smith. DOJ. Not sure what James Comer did, if it's related to January 6th, but I'm picking up whispers between James Comer and the enemies. And this is the Page of Swords. Yes, this is the law. Checking, and not just the law, but also the Democrats. They have no evidence to even start an inquiry. This is the Democrats with the sword of truth. James Comer, it's almost like I don't even see James Comer in these cards because he becomes so insignificant. Yes, this was a gift from Warren. Maybe he'll tell you in the chat where he got it. He sent it to me. Somebody's gonna get jacked up. The text there is supposed to look like the front of a Jack Daniels bottle. I know, it used to be my favorite. Used to be. I have another one. Carmen is Jack Smith. Yeah, wow, that's really interesting because as far as James Comer goes, I was seeing more cards that have to do with what's coming for him than him. Should we read on Marjorie Trader Green? Let's just zap them with white light and make them powerless to do any more harm. What do you say? Let's read on Marjorie Trader Green. I gotta have some of my tea before it gets ice cold. Hey Warren, where'd you get the mug? Where'd you get the Jack Smith mug? Somebody's gonna get jacked. It's really appropriate now. It really fits. Marjorie Trader Green. Boy, that tea is cold. What's her fate? You know, and really, I just got through firing off, in the midst of my busyness, I just fired off another email to MSNBC because I don't want to hear anybody. See, 'cause this is what trivializes what we're going through, is when the mainstream media has people on that say, you want to hear my pet peeve? This is my pet peeve. Marjorie Trader Green is real cozy with Comer. I know, I have a picture of that on my community page I posted. This is... Hang on. The Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is January 6th. The Strength card is the strength of the judicial system, and Marjorie Trader Green is the Five of Pentacles, impoverished, not having a lot of money. It's coming down. It's coming down. Oh no, John didn't receive a Zoom invite for Grassroots of Democracy. I'll let Terry know. I have no idea why that was the case, but hopefully you got the recording of the meditation. Anyway, I'm just reading that they're saying that Marjorie Trader Green was out with Comer saying stuff like women trafficking, that Hunter Biden was sex trafficking. I saw somebody being interviewed on some YouTube channel, a Trumpster, and this, I forget who it was asking this Trumpster what she didn't like about Joe Biden. So the Trumpster responded, because Joe Biden has sex trafficking. And I'm like, you know, someday I would like to be able to tell somebody something just totally as ridiculous as that and have them be so gullible that they believe it. Because that's a lot of power. Marjorie Trader Green. The Six of Cups is January 6th. This is the strength of the case against her. This is her becoming destitute. Yep. How low can the GOP go? Well, whenever they go lower, I think that's as low as they're going to go. I mean, when Ron DeFascist was at that debate with Gavin Newsom last week, I think that was last week, so much news, and he started talking about the poo on the streets of San Francisco, that's pretty low. That's pretty low. All right, hold that thought for a sec. I'm gonna crack the window. Talk amongst yourselves. Just take me a sec. Oh no, my Elliot the elf fell. Can you believe that? I mean, the things that people believe. GOP is a bottomless pit. I don't know why they think this is going to work for them. We can ask about that. Why do they think this is going to work for them? Do they really think that people want to see this? How do they really think? I'm going to pull 3 cards about the outcome of all this craziness. And then I'm going to ask the pendulum how long they'll have the majority. I'm just like reading on the energy of the fascist Republican Party. Oh, they don't know which ends up. They're really between a rock and a hard place. They really just don't know what to do. Saw this on a sign today. Our Christmas elves called rappers. That's cute. That's like a dad joke. They think they're the party of Jesus, and they're so cruel. So this is where the Republican Party is. This is just keep in mind, this is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Rods is it's called here. This is about them being completely 100%, like what I was just talking about a little while ago, 100% about what, it's exactly what I was saying. They're going for the people that don't pay attention to the news to get those headlines. And they're throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. And what's going to stick if we don't intervene, what's going to stick is the stupid headlines like Hunter Biden's been subpoenaed. And, that's what's going to stick if we don't intervene. So they're 100% focused. This is the Republicans. They're 100% focused on as long as we get the lies out. As long as we get the lies out. What was just on you were just on the news? You were just on the news? Are you saying it was just on the news or you were just on the news, Total Tech? 100% dependent on the people of America believing their lies and their BS. That's all they've got. They've got nothing else. The fascist Republican Party has nothing. This is where they are. They have nothing but to bank on that the American people will believe their BS. The Republicans are delusional. What they're banking on is that the American people are delusional. I'm not saying that they're not, that we're not. But there are some that aren't paying attention. Yeah, Hunter was great. Hunter was great in front of the Capitol. He's standing up for himself. Yeah, look at all the damage they're doing. We're not happy. I mean, we might be happy, but we could certainly do with a lot less of a stressful government situation. But we can't complain. It could be worse. When you look at the rest of the world, we can't complain. It could be worse. So they're banking on people getting the louder message. They're banking on being loud, so that the people that aren't paying attention only hear the headlines. And then Dancing Warrior saying this doesn't make sense to you. Well, you don't understand how cults work then. Yeah, so I'm going to pull 3 cards on remember, Hunter Biden has Mars and Aries. He's a fighter. He's not going to back down. The news was reporting, I think it was CBS I clicked on, that he defied his subpoena. Like, they're making him out to sound like he's a criminal and he defied his subpoena. So what they need to do is talk about Jim Jordan and the rest of them defying their subpoena. They need to be talking about that Hunter Biden didn't commit any crimes that he didn't, pay for. Yesterday was a very tense day in our government. Extremely tense. No, people didn't get dumber after 2020. Dancing Warrior. No. Yesterday was extremely intense. Give yourself like a break. Do what you do to relax. If you're following the news, it's not for the faint of heart. There are good people in the world, and Joe Biden is one of them. Yeah, that's what the news has to be talking about. What kind of hold does Trump have on them? Well, we've talked about that at length in the past. What he has on them is the promise of power. The oligarchs just poured... Damon, where you been? I haven't seen you in a while. The oligarchs just poured in more money in 2020. Yes, they did, but Joe Biden still won. Yeah, people ask, like, what does Trump have on these Republicans? And I keep getting the promise of power. The promise of power and more money than they'd ever know what to do with. I never get that it's dirt. I don't. It's interesting because people go, what kind of dirt does Trump have on them? I never get that it's that. It's not that they have dirt on him. I never get that. Aries is ruled by Mars. Yeah. Hunter Biden is a fighter. Anyway, so there are people out there that aren't paying attention. And then there are the MAGAs who actually are going around believing that Joe Biden is sex trafficking. He's a church-going, devout Catholic with a wife and children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and he wants to see America be a better place, and he wants to help people. Dirty money from Russia. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you're talking about, when we're talking about what the Republicans are, I don't think Trump... I don't get that Trump is threatening to out that they've got money from Russia. I just get that they know that they got money from Russia, so they're scared that it will be revealed. Let's pick 3 cards about Jack Smith. Because I know what happened today was there was a pause put on the Washington, D.C. case. There was a pause. And my sense was just that Tanya Chutkan did that. It felt like that was what needed to be done for the time being. Because SCOTUS has to determine, we'll read about that after. SCOTUS has to determine whether Trump is immune. Why should he be immune? Why should he be immune? It doesn't make any sense. I keep changing questions. The next question is, how is Joe Biden's presidency doing? How is his presidency doing? Remember, the people that aren't following the news, they hear this. He's so old. I think somebody in the hearing, I don't know who it was, I would have felt like smacking him. You probably saw it. Going on and on about Joe Biden. He's not all there. He's really not making any sense. He's got no cognitive function. I'll go back and find the video. And then one of the Democrats said, a female, said, have you ever sat down and talked to Joe Biden? Check-in putting stay off again may help South Carolina. Yeah, they're strategizing. They're playing chess. The Republican fascists are playing checkers. How's Joe Biden's presidency doing? How's his presidency doing? I know. 45 is worse in the cognitive department than Joe Biden, and it's they just do it. They just say these things about Joe Biden to use. I just got the Ace of Wands to use. That's what they have. They're trumpeting. That's what we should call it. They're trumpeting. They're trumpeting. Hunter Biden is a criminal. They're trumpeting. Joe Biden is too old. They're trumpeting. I heard somebody say today, oh, the price of gas is so high. They're trumpeting all these things. And that's what they're banking on. How's Joe Biden's presidency doing? It's loaded with burdens. Loaded with burdens. But the star card is the United States, coming up strong out of all of this craziness. Jack is playing 3D chess. I agree. One Republican said Biden has cognitive issues. Yes, that's what I heard. And it was kind of on in the background, and I was like, who the hell is that? But I love that this female Democrat, when I go back and watch the video, I'll find out who it was. I was just walking down the street listening, and she said, have you ever sat down and talked to Joe Biden? And he said, no. That's right. A few years ago, there was a film edited against Nancy Pelosi, making her look like she was drunk. Yep. They do that on Jimmy Kimmel. They slow it down so it sounds like the person's drunk as a joke. Obviously, it's Jimmy Kimmel. So anyway, as far as Joe Biden goes, yes, it's a heavy burden. It's an incredibly heavy burden, but they're coming after the presidency because they want fascism. But the star is the United States, strong. The Queen of Pentacles, I'm feeling like this is Judge Chutkin. And I'm feeling like this represents, I know that people have different takes on which case is going to sink Trump. Well, cumulatively, it's all of them. But I feel like the January 6th, I said it early on, is going to be the first to take him down. I know. Do they listen to Trump? Do they listen to Trump? Thinking that he's running against Obama? Not once. Anyone can have a gaffe, but then you fix it. Right? Anyone can have a gaffe, but then you fix it. Trump doesn't fix it. Trump doesn't even know he's gaffing. So the mainstream media news has got to stop saying, I didn't finish my sentence, I'm sorry. Has got to stop saying if Trump gets back in the White House. And that's what I sent an email to MSNBC about an hour ago. Stop talking about him as if he's a viable candidate. The only thing that anybody should be hearing on any news whatsoever is Donald Trump is not eligible to run for president of the United States. He incited a violent riot on our Capitol and attempted to take the government down, and he protects and gives aid to people that are hell-bent on taking down our democracy. When you're listening to the mainstream news, they're not talking like that. And when they say if Donald Trump gets back in the White House, when they say that, I don't care what channel it is. If he gets back in the White House, I'm not giving that any energy at all. And it's so freaking insulting to my sense of being an American citizen that they're slinging that crap out at us. If Donald Trump gets back into the White House, shame on them. Shame on them. How dare they talk about him as if he's actually a viable candidate? It's wrong. And they, and Trump is, threatening to take down the media. He's threatening, basically, Trump is threatening to take down everybody. Everybody. And the polls are fake as can be. And so when I see that, Jane Fonda was beat down for giving aid. Yeah, they don't like good people. When I see that, it makes me furious. When I see that they're not talking about, we need to save our country from this violent sociopath, narcissist, who's threatening to kill people. What does it take? Yesterday, Zelensky came to the White House. These fascists that call themselves Christians, we don't care about people dying and being raped and children being beheaded, and we don't care about how awful it is that they're being held hostages. We don't care about the slaughter of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of human beings. We don't care. We could help, but nah, we don't feel like it. We don't feel like it, but we're Christians. What's for entertainment purposes only? No, that's not for entertainment purposes only. I say that when I feel a need to say that, but that's not for entertainment purposes only. That's the GD truth. I'm going to pull 3 cards about MAGA Mike because I was coming unglued yesterday. I don't think I'm alone in that. Thank you. Thank you for your support. I'm ranting for you. How about Donald Trump saying, I'm being indicted for you. I'm going to jail for you. And how about the latest one? I wondered if this was actually true. Yeah, Jane Fonda's awesome. That I don't think that everybody gets an authentic piece of Donald Trump's suit, but he's actually cutting up his suit that he wore for his mugshot. Why are we glorifying committing crimes against the United States? Why is he doing that? So, yeah, I mean, Trump will come after anybody and I'm coming unglued. Just Trump drama. Biden should be a gazillion points ahead of Trump. Where's the moon today? Hang on, I have to give you the lowdown on what's going on. I mean, I should just be able to ramble this off. The moon is in Sag. The Mercury goes retrograde at 2:09 a.m. The moon goes into Capricorn. It's in Capricorn now. Yeah, it went into Capricorn this morning. So the moon's in Capricorn. You don't know one Democrat that has changed their mind about Biden? I don't know what you're referring to. So Zelensky's at the White House and, speaking to Congress and saying they've done great. They have done great. The Ukrainians have done great at defending democracy for the world. Yeah, Democrats support Biden, definitely true. But for these Christians, this MAGA Mike, what happened, what I saw was he was at a press conference, and at the press conference, Zelensky was there, and MAGA Mike had a meeting with Zelensky, and so they have a press conference, and MAGA Mike is standing there, and he's sweating, and he looks extremely uncomfortable. And he's saying, the reporters are asking him about aid to Ukraine, and he starts word salading, MAGA Mike starts word salading something about, well, people need health care. What? He started talking total gibberish, not even addressing what was going on, completely ignoring what was actually going on, completely ignoring what the topic was. Ukraine is saving Europe from fascism. And they need the help of the United States so that we don't get boots on the ground into a war with Putin. Not to mention, to help Taiwan to defend itself. So the Putin Republicans are saying, no, we want fascism. He did have a very guilty look on his face. MAGA Mike looked way out of his element. He definitely did. He definitely did. So MAGA Mike, what is going on with him? If you've been watching Spirit Talk podcast, our resident astrologer, Kathy Beal, seems to think, and myself, because we kind of compare notes. I compare my psychic notes with her astrology notes. We don't think he's long for that seat. That's why we have NATO. They're actually voting against us staying safe. Yeah, MAGA Mike seemed very insecure. Good. MAGA Mike is shaking in his boots. Like I said, Jim Jordan is shaking in his boots. And he's shaking in his boots because, well, for one thing, he's out of his element. Well, MAGA Mike, it's over. He's not going to keep that seat. He's holding on to secrets. MAGA Mike is holding on to secrets. Hello, he doesn't have a freaking bank account. I challenge any one of you. I challenge any one of you to find a full-grown adult, or a teenager for that matter, an older teenager, that doesn't have a bank account. He's so out of his element. I should read on that. This is MAGA Mike. The Tower card that's not a comfortable card. He's holding on to something. He's holding on to something that he hopes people don't find out. He thinks he's hiding it, but he's not really sure. The Page of Pentacles. There's a lot of evidence against him for his illicit activity. He's hiding all his money. Where? You can't get through life without a bank account. I mean, just a good old-fashioned bank account. I'm going to pull a few more cards. Let's do the little mini cards. Just changing it up all over the place tonight. I do need to do a commercial. Cheryl's reminding me. How does he pay his taxes with no bank account? I mean, honestly, how are we putting up with this? He told people to take sanitizers to kill the COVID. That didn't work. What's up with his bank account? What's up with his non-existent bank account? What's going on there? Oh, these cards flipped over by themselves. It's being looked into. It's being looked into. It's somewhere. It's not nowhere. It's somewhere. He's up for some really big challenges. That's a Five of Wands. And looky here, everybody. I got the Tower card again. 78 cards in a tarot deck. I just used 2 different decks. I got the Tower card from MAGA Mike again. I don't mean to be giving you the middle finger. I'm giving it to him. I'm not really feeling so much like it's in another country, but we can look at that Nine of Swords. He's got some pain. MAGA Mike is going through some pain. Because here's the thing. In theory, what they plan to do seems like, kind of like January 6th. Thank God it didn't work. What they're planning to do, in their minds, seems like it will work. But in reality, it's a lot more complicated. They're finding out. They think they're in Russia. Is MAGA Mike hiding his money in a different country? No, I feel like it's in this country. Is it in the wall? Is it hidden behind a wall? Not quite, but I do get, it's not quite that. It's not quite that. Tarot card twice. Is it hidden someplace like in his house? No. Is somebody holding MAGA Mike's money for him? Somebody holding the bag? Yes, somebody's holding the bag. Is it at a church? Is it at a church? I'm getting it's connected to a church. Some of those churches, man, pastors get up there and they look like demons. Some of them. I'm not talking about legit churches. I'm talking about the churches where people are going to church and somebody's up there screaming like a banshee about how if you vote for Democrats, you're voting for the devil. Can you say projecting? All right, hang tight because I have to give you my commercial and it's long. I'm gonna try to make it interesting. I gotta get my whiteboard. Hang on a sec. We have a few more minutes and a lot to cover, so hang tight. On Sunday, December 17th, we have a winter solstice event. It's $50. If you invite a friend, it's $45 each. We're going to have a Yule log. We're going to decorate our Yule logs. We're going to hang the holly and the ivy. Build a snowman. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'll have a fake snowman. We're going to have candles. We're going to have a solstice tree. I'm going to be playing for the first half an hour. I'm going to be playing live music, live holiday music. So join us for that, psychicannetteDion.com. Book a tarot reading or a tea leaf reading. And I'm also a spiritual life coach, psychicannetteDion.com. Save Our Democracy, Save Lives, grassrootsofdemocracy.com. We have a discussion group tomorrow night. And Make Your Life Better by watching Church of Spirituality, Sundays at 1 Eastern Time. We have a couple of services on Christmas Eve day. One Christmas Eve day because it's a Sunday, and then at night we have a Christmas Eve service, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 2 live streams on the 24th, and on the 25th, a Christmas Day service at noon. I will repeat that, in further videos. Also, I'm going to do an event. I haven't decided what time yet, but I'm going to do a fundraising event for my channel. And because I'm not making a lot of money on readings, so I'm doing a special couple reasons. One is I love this story. I'm doing a special event live stream on YouTube on December 23rd. I haven't chosen the time yet, but I'm going to read you a Christmas carol. Thank you, Gloria. Because this is like one of my favorite stories in the whole wide world. So I'm going to have an event on YouTube. I'm going to live stream on December 23rd, later in the day, 4 o'clock or 6-ish. I haven't decided yet. I'll let you know. And it's going to be a fundraiser. So you have an opportunity to come listen to me reading the story, playing the different characters. And it's going to be great. So that's going to be on December 23rd. That's a Saturday, later in the day. When you become a member, you receive an affirmation in your inbox every single day. And you also get an invitation to a psychic party the last Saturday of the month, and that will be the 30th this year. I also have an event coming up on New Year's Eve too, and I'll tell you more about that as it gets closer. And Cheryl's saying, tea leaves, do you think I need to leave? Should I leave now, or are you just reminding me? Because sometimes I do forget. Donald J. Trump. By the way, let me just back up and tell you, as far as Ukraine goes, I do see Ukraine winning. I do see Ukraine winning, and I feel like, Gloria starts with the day with the affirmations. The affirmations are really empowering, so definitely become a member. As far as aid for Ukraine, I don't see Ukraine not getting aid. Yeah, thank you, Cheryl. Sometimes I do forget. I love doing Psychic News Network. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. It's challenging. I love a challenge. Donald Trump. But anyway, as far as Ukraine, I see Ukraine getting the aid that they need. I really do. Okay. If you ever have trouble getting the emails with Zoom invites, please send me a message or send a message to Annette Dion psychic@gmail.com. There's various ways to send messages, but we don't want you to not come because you didn't get the invite. Always check your spam. Donald J. Trump, what's going on for you right now? He's really losing his mind. I have the Fool card. Warren saying 45 is doing a great service to this great nation, and we will be stronger once this is over. That I always go back to at the very, 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 very beginning, when my guides told me that Donald Trump would make this country stronger. I've never let go of that, I didn't see in how many ways that would be the case, or on how many fronts. But we really, really, really have to strengthen our democracy. We're being forced to. It's like either strengthen the democracy or we're done. Oh, thank you for hitting the thumbs up. And thank you for encouraging people to visualize 10,000 subscribers. Warren likes quoting a good psychic. This is Donald Trump, the fool. This is where he's at right now. And he's also being cited for using money that he's claiming is campaign fund money. He's having people donate to him, and he's using it for what he's not saying that he's using it for. He's using it to pay his legal fees. Imagine that. The Six of Cups is going to bear fruit for the American people. He's a kind of... Prayers and love and light to you too, Sharon. The Six of Cups is going... The January 6th case is going to bear a lot of fruit for America. And the Nine of Cups... Is that the Nine of Cups? Nine of Cups. So much evidence against him. He's really being foolish. Terry hooks me up with tech stuff. Well, Terry hooks me up with what I need. Yeah, she does. She's great. I'm not sure if she's looking for work, if she's even here tonight, but I don't think she's looking for work. I'm just fortunate that she's working for me. She's helping me, I mean. Donald Trump. There's no place for him to go. He's being sunk by all this stuff. Imagine with me for a second, just for a second. If you were in Donald Trump's position right now, I know that would never happen because you would never be that criminal, because it's an amazing feat, actually, how criminal he's become. What do you guys think of all that? They heard to lighten me up. Lighten up the news. The big fat justice card is right in front of me. We have to work on getting the American people, your friends and your family members that aren't paying attention. We're gonna have to put it. We'll work on this. We're gonna have to do our in a nutshell version. The in a nutshell version is what we're going to have to offer. This is what I found out with a friend. I hadn't seen her in a while. We had dinner on my birthday, and it was nice if she was available, and we started talking a little bit, and I was like, wow, she's thinking Joe Biden, and it's like, she's not a bad person. She's thinking Joe Biden is too old. She can't stand to listen to him, and she doesn't want to vote for Trump, but she just doesn't want to vote for Biden, and she thinks Biden can't do the job. And I'm like, what? She doesn't know what's going on at all. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what Joe Biden is saying. Look at what Joe Biden is doing. Look at what this country is right now in terms of back on our feet after a pandemic that took all the other countries down and us, but we recovered more quickly and robustly. Look at what he has done. And I did promise that I'd be doing videos on Joe Biden's accomplishments. I haven't forgotten that. Let's do this. Let's do 3 cards. I know that there's more news than ever because I get to the end of the PNN and there's so many things I haven't covered. It used to be that I felt like I covered just about everything. Look at what Joe Biden has done so far. Yeah, I'm going to have to start making videos about it, and then I'm going to count on you guys to share them. All right, tea leaves in a sec. 3 cards. I mean, ask your friends and family members, do you know what's going on in this country? And then just say, we're in a dangerous place. What does she think is happening? Does she think the Republicans are doing all of the good things? No. It was that she just was getting snippets of headlines. She's not paying attention to the news. I'm just talking about not paying attention. And so we just have to talk about, yeah, the GOP is burning the house down. Community cards. There's big change coming. We're going to see Trump feeling really isolated. A lot of these Republicans are going to feel, this is interesting, because these are just kind of community cards about what we're going to, general cards, what we're going to be seeing. This is really a death sentence for, metaphorically speaking, for the Republican Party, because they're going to find themselves out in the cold. Because justice is coming, and there's so much evidence that they can't hide it, so all they have is lies. All they have to work with is lies, and that's it. Let's read some tea leaves, and then we'll call it a night for now. Please come to our Grassroots of Democracy meeting. Yeah, Biden's he's great. He's a nice guy. I heard Hunter saying something about, they don't like that Joe Biden, he's a good guy. He has a lot of love and a lot of light. That's what we need more of. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. If you can't make it to the meetings, just sign up anyway because you'll get all the notes. Pointer. Oh, by the way, tonight, somebody told me that there's a big meteorite shower tonight. Yeah, he's not old, he's just older. By the way, speaking of age, which I never talk about because I think it's stupid. Honestly, I think it's a stupid topic. But since you mentioned it. In our lifetimes, you know what's happened with technology? There's going to be anti-aging technology. That goes for the brains, too. Our teacup. I haven't talked about the abortion ban situation in Texas. It's a little hard. It's a little difficult. But we'll take a look at that on Friday. I've said repeatedly that the women are going to rise up and change this country. And that is what we're going to see. That is definitely what we're going to see. I'm sorry I don't have a pointer. I do have a makeup brush. So we'll just use that. Take a little time to have a little fun and have a little drink of your preference. Come to the winter solstice event. Make some wassail. Yeah, Grassley is 90 years old. Hello. Why don't they ever talk about that? The full moon coming up seems really significant. It is in, what sign is it in? In the sign of Cancer. Looks like. The full moon time is going to be very, we were talking about this, Kathy and I, it's going to be kind of a peaceful time. So that's good. We're going to have it looks like we're going to have kind of a peaceful holiday. The other thing I haven't told you is I need to do my 2024 predictions. So much psychic work, so little time. You see what? I like when you guys read the leaves. You see a lot of people working on something in the tea leaves. Yeah, I've seen that repeatedly in the tea leaves. It's a lot of people coming together. I'm looking at certain images. I do see a fish there. I always see a fish. Fish represents abundance. And that looks like a wolf. Beware of wolves in sheep's clothing. Nothing against wolves. It's just a saying. I see, that looks like a dog. There's loyalty there. Loyalty to the Constitution. I do see fish. Hang on. Before we go, I want to look a couple things up. So I see a fish and I see a dog. Hang on. I just like to see what the book says. Look at my old book. I don't even know where I got this. A dog signifies a faithful friend. So we're going to see the Republicans. It represents people being. We're going to see the Democrats coming together and holding each other's back. You know, it's like they have each other's back. The Democrats have each other's back. The Republicans don't have their each other's backs. We got to read on Matt Gaetz on Friday too. Remind me. This is in. Okay, Mars. There's a lot of activity here. Mars is practically covered up by all this activity. I do feel Ukraine winning. I feel these snakes in the House of Representatives being outed. The snakes, the House Republicans, I see them being outed. They look like birds. This is like news about them rising up and just getting a mess all over them. Trumpy McCheese thinks he's the master of calling people's names. Yeah, it's true. You'd send him crying with the names you have for him. He's got very thin skin, he does. Anyway, I see people coming together, and let me just look up fish real quick. Because we've been seeing a lot of fish in the cups. I don't know if it's because I live in a fishing town, but let's see. Any fish in the teacup is a positive symbol and indicates an increase in material wealth and spiritual growth. So there you go. And that's the way it is on the Psychic News Network. This is Annette Dion. Good night and have a pleasant tomorrow. I appreciate you guys. Please book a reading because it'll be good for both of us. It's going to rain indictments. I agree. Keep your head on straight. Keep the faith. Write to the mainstream news media. Support Midas Touch. Support pro-democracy channels like this one. I love you all so much. I wouldn't be me without you. And do we have a name? I mean, we have Elliot, the Democracy Elf, and Judy? I think it's Judy. All right. Namaste. See you soon. Good night.